The housing in Honduras is in crisis due to the fact that 63% of the population lives below the poverty line, meaning that most of Honduras lives in extremely poor conditions. This means that the country is unable to provide safe basic housing for almost 800,000 families. Unfortunately, Honduras is unable to provide clean water to almost 700,000 individuals due to its high poverty rate, leaving it vulnerable to many waterborne diseases and infections. Honduran staple foods include bean, rice, and tortillas. Plantains and pork are also common in Honduran cuisine. Although this is the typical cuisine, many Hondurans, especially those below the poverty line, only eat rice, beans, and tortillas along with cassava.
There's a huge demand for safety and security in Honduras due to the country being at an all-time high in crime rates. There is a lot of poverty and unemployment, and street gangs and drug trafficking.
Violent crime rates occur in all parts of Honduras, but the north and central have the highest crime rates.
Most criminal activity is petty theft, but there is a huge concern for violent incidents such as kidnapping, raping, and murdering. The main problem is that the local police and emergency services don't have the resources to respond effectively to serious crimes, so they don't have enough help or the resources to do anything about it. In 2015, the Government Ministry of Security established a 911 national emergency system. They have put in 3,800 Sony video security cameras to make it safer and be more efficient when dealing with crimes.
A huge part of daily life in Honduras is the idea of strengthening family relationships and the role of families. So a lot of Honduran culture is based around the ideas of like kinship, trust, and like relationships. And so family is a crucial part of their culture and their lives. And you can see this reflected in many aspects of their culture and their daily lives. Not just blood relationships, but friendships as well are super important in Honduran culture. For instance, really close friends will often become godparents of the children at their birth, signifying like their official role in the family as a member of the family, and it strengthens kinship ties and it brings everyone closer together. These kinship and relationship ties can also help get through the red tape of bureaucracy, because Honduras doesn't have a super efficient government, so having ties to someone in government can help you get things like through the government system a lot faster.
The October holiday is a holiday that commemorates the birthday of Francisco Morazan. He was the leader of the Federal Republic of Latin America, which is when the 5 countries in Latin America were united. Francisco Morazan strived to make Central America a united and progressive nation. He also guaranteed the freedom of press, religion, and speech during his time as president, along with limiting the powers of the Catholic Church. All of these things make him a hero to Central American people, which led them to make his birthday a national holiday to honor all of what he did for his country, which is now countries. He's a symbol of freedom to the Central American. He led the Federal Republic of Latin America between 1830 and 1839. He is celebrated because of his contribution to the Federal Republic of Latin America through his 2 terms of presidency and his position as leader of state for El Salvador and for Honduras.
Honduras celebrates its Independence Day every year on September 15th. Independence Day is a public holiday for Hondurans. In 1821, Spain granted Honduras' independence and all the rest of the Central American provinces. Schools and colleges remain closed for this celebration, and the children participate in dancing and music. A cool fact is that this celebration lasts 3 days, and there's a competition between kindergartners, elementary schools, and high schools to see who can exhibit the best presentation of the day. There's a huge parade on this day, and everyone is dressed in costumes. Most of it's hosted by children. They sing, dance, and march.
Christmas in Honduras is a super important holiday. 95% of Hondurans are Catholic, so they see Christmas as a very religious holiday, but they also see it as a time to spend time with friends and family and to show how much they appreciate one another. There is a tradition in Honduras called La Posada, and basically friends will go and knock on each other's doors and ask if they can stay the night. This represents how Mary and Joseph had to knock on a lot of indoors to find a place to stay in Bethlehem. And at first the friends will turn them away, but then they'll invite them in, and some people actually end up staying with them for 9 days, the 9 days before Christmas Eve. In Honduras, Christmas Eve or Noche Buena is probably more important than Christmas Day itself. That's the day when everyone goes to church, and then someone will host a party that night really late, like 10 or 11, and there's a huge feast, and that's when presents are exchanged, and that's when you really get to see everyone and talk with everyone, and it's just a huge party, and everyone is having an awesome time.